Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University of Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I would just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is Sunday, June the 16th, 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody told me today is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in the world. Um, you know, Father's Day is a nice day, I guess. But today I am working. I don't know about the rest of you. The rest of you might be out there barbecuing or something like that. It's always it's always strange when people say, "What do you Father's Day, your dad goes out there and barbecues or something like that." I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I'm just kidding. But anyway, ladies and gents, we have a great episode for you today. We're going to talk about something very important. Now, before we get started on today's show, today this week we are going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about positioning. Because sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that you want to make sure you want to position yourself, get yourself in a way that you can be seen, your products can be seen. It doesn't matter what you do when it comes to online, offline, doesn't matter. You want to be in a position where you can make the most money possible. I will give you an example. If you do affiliate marketing, you do not want to be an affiliate marketer and you have five people, you know, um, five people on an email list. You want to be in a position where you have, you know, doesn't have to be a million people, but you want to have, let's say you have 20,000 responsive people, 30,000, 50,000. The key in that is you want them to be responsive. And so you want to put yourself in a position, you want to set yourself up to where, hey, when people think of something, they think of you. Okay, and so we are going to give examples every day this week of marketing. Um, as you know, in this podcast, I talked about this book I listened to about Leonard Johnson, how Leonard Johnson went from the backwoods of Texas to now he's a politician, and now at the end of the book, he's hanging out and taking advice from Franklin Roosevelt, the president. So he's moved up. He's put himself in a way to where they're like, hey, look at me. And then I started listening to a book about one of my favorite TV shows, Andy Griffin. Uh, Andy and Don Knotts, they become good friends, and they both use how they grew up. They're from like the southern region. They use that to become more known in Hollywood. And then instead of saying I'm gonna ditch my accent, do all this and all that, they use it to their advantage, get on radio shows, and take off from there. And so this week we're going to talk about marketing and positioning and how you can line yourself up and all that good stuff. And so stay tuned this week. Always be sharing the episodes with people, whoever, however, whatever. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you and I both know, it's just like when I used to joke around with my brother sometimes. Me and my brother used to work together a long time ago, long time ago. And my brother, he would always be complaining. He like, look at them sucking up, blah 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 blah. But is the person sucking up, or is the person trying to move up in the ranks? You can't, now that I'm older and I realize, you know, nobody wants to be, at the bottom of the nobody wants to be at the bottom of the ladder forever. You know what I mean? You always want to climb up. You always want to go up, because what's the point of you, you know, uh, running a business, you know, working at a place, if the only thing you're gonna do is I give you an example. I remember when my first job, with the W-2 form and all that, I worked at a grocery store. I was making $4.25. Big time buku bucks. I was gonna get rich. Okay. But the job I had was to clean the toilet, sweep, and wash the dishes that they bake bread and stuff. I would wash those. I would wash the they would cut up the meat. My man named Tony, he would cut up the meat. They would bring the parts in there and I would wash those. That was my job. Can you imagine? You go into a place like that, you work that job, and you're doing that 20 years later, 5 years later, a year later. Can you imagine? No. So why would you expect anybody else to do that? So no, nobody, any of us, anybody listen to this. If you listen to this podcast, of course you don't want to hang around at the bottom of the at the ladder. So you want to move up, and so you put yourself in a position. You do some marketing. You do some marketing is very important. A lot of people, you know, they won't tell you that, but it's very important because you want to, how does Walmart, how does Target, how does Nike, how does any Disney, how does any person, any company, any group, any organization, how do they get out there? They have to market. And so the more that we talk about marketing, the better off we all will be. Okay. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we but today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about something very important. We are going to talk about distractions. Okay. And a lot of times we are our own worst nightmares when it comes to distractions. And now I will give you an example. I woke up this morning and I went straight. I said no, 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 nothing else. Straight to the computer, open up the computer, record. Open up the computer, boom, 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 boom. I thought I lost my microphone. That was 2 minutes. But um I got that all together, and 5 minutes later, I'm recording. And so, cut off the distractions. The more you cut off the distractions, the more you get away from the distractions of life. And I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about: the phone, the iPad, the people, the places, the things. Everything can be a distraction. You need to focus. You need to handle your business so that way you can make all the monies in the world, all the money you want to. The more time that you focus on you and the business that pays you, the better off you will be. You do not want to be one of these um you do not want to be one of these people who always need to be entertained, always need the phone in their hands, always need distractions. The more that you are distracted, the less money you will make. It is a fact. It is a guarantee. I would give you an example. I will tell you. I was walking. I had to drop a rental car for a couple weeks ago, and I'm going through the airport, making my way back home, and I'm just walking, going to get a lift or whatever, and I see all these people, and you see these people, and they got their heads down and the phone, and they're looking at the phone, and they filming themselves and doing all this and all this jazz, and looking at movies, looking at things. I'm thinking, does anybody just sit at the airport and think about things, or do all of them need the phone to get them through the flight, get them through the whole trip? At some point, I don't know about you, but when I travel, at some point I turn the phone off. It's a good time to relax, look around, you know, see what's going on, do some observations, take some notes, you know. It's a good time to think about, things that you might want to do in the future, things that you need to do. It's a good time to think about you. You know, maybe think about your wife, your husband, your spouse, your kids. You know, think about what you can do for them, things of that nature. You know, but more and more, you see more and more people that they're so easily distracted. It's like the phone is more. You know, they say the phone is helpful. All you need the phone. You need the phone. Listen, a cell phone is great to have in emergencies. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, I only really use the cell phone because running a trucking business, you got to have the phone. Wife has to call. I video chat my daughter because she's my baby. But other than that, I'm not video chatting with nobody else. If you ever wanted to video chat with me, it's not gonna happen. I don't want to sit there and stare at you all day. No offense. I like you, but I don't want to stare at you all day. So I video chat with my daughter, call my wife, call my mom, you know. But for the most part, when I'm at home every day, there will not be my cell phone will start to collect dust. And that's just the way it is. Cause I got other things to do, you know. I like to write. I like to sit there, go outside, look around, meander around, you know. You want to focus on things that are going to bring you in income, you know. If you have a YouTube channel, instead of being on YouTube all day, work on that YouTube channel. You know, you want to be the TV program they look at on YouTube, because when you do a YouTube channel, it's like having your own TV show, okay? Or not even a TV show. Forget TV show. Let's think bigger picture. When you have a YouTube channel, it's like having your own when you it's like having your own channel. So you are CBS, okay? And so you want to program shows that people can watch on a regular basis. And so instead of you being the one watching 9 hours of YouTube, you have a YouTube channel. Why don't you figure out, hey, what can I program for 9 hours so that way I can get more and more people to watch my channel? That's where you want to be at. You do not want to be the one that's always distracted. You do not want to be the one that's always in other people's world. Sometimes you want to create a world that people can be in for you. Okay? It's okay to study things, to look at things, you know, but we both know, you and I both know, when you go from, okay, I'm looking at this, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, let me do it for an hour, let me take some notes, let me figure this stuff out, to, hey, man, it's been 5 hours and I'm watching all these videos, no, 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 no. Now I will give you some examples. Now I'm not here to beat you up. Okay? I'm not here to beat you up. Hey, I wasted time myself. In the beginning of my driving days, I remember I used to drive down the road, drive down the highway 10 hours a day, 11 hours a day, I would listen to sports talk. I would listen to the same songs over and over on the satellite radio, I would listen to the radio. I would listen to celebrity gossip, just time just going by, time going by, going by, going by. Oh man. And don't so I'm not beating you up. Don't beat yourself up. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. The point is, do not be distracted forever. Okay? At some point in your life, boom, I want you to stop and realize. You think about it and don't even and don't have any regrets. But I want you to stop. If you are one of these people who are just wasting time, 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 I want you to stop. I want you to look. I want you to think about it. Write down what you are producing, and write down what you are consuming, and you will be amazed how much more you consume than produce. And we want to turn that trend around. We want you to start producing. We want you to start producing videos. We want you to start producing content. We want you to flood. We want you to come on. and we want you to start producing. Okay, we do not want you to be distracted. Okay, I do not want you to be distracted all the time. I want you to start producing. Okay, I want you to start being creative. You have creativity. It's down in the bones of yours. Okay, you and I both know it. Everybody everybody, especially if you are an American citizen, if you are a citizen of the United States of America, at some point, everybody has uttered these words. Especially if you're my age and younger, you have thought to yourself this: I could be famous. Boom. I could be famous. You've all uttered that phrase before, You think about it, you look at it, you're like, please. It ain't hard, especially nowadays, okay? When you can make a sex tape and become one of the richest people in the world. When you can when you can go from making a sex tape to all of a sudden you're, uh, a multi-millionaire. Please, you thought to yourself, "Oh, I definitely could be famous." Please, you've all thought that, and so what you want to do is less distractions. Okay, there's, and I know it's and there's people and the worst people, unfortunately, the worst people to try to distract you a lot of times, sad to say, but it's friends, it's family. They send you the clips, they send you the this, the that. You got to keep up with the celebrity gossip. You got to know who, if Ross is still dating Rachel, if Niles and Daphne is still married. I'm dropping old references right now because I don't keep up with new stuff. At some point, you got to turn your boat. You got to turn that boat around, baby, and you got to say, "Hey, enough of this bullshit." I don't care if Tom Selleck is still being Magnum PI. Okay, you want to start creating stuff for you. Okay, you want to start creating enough stuff that you have that you can say, "Hey, everybody, come to my window, come to my show, come watch me, come watch this." I am here, I'm producing this stuff, I am in charge of my own channel. You want to start looking at all this stuff that you can do, that you can make money, and so that way you can make the most money possible. So that way, because at the end of the day, you know, you ever think about, one time I remember I was watching football, and I just kept thinking to myself, why these people are already rich, homie. Like, why am I entertaining this nonsense? Like, I need to I'm working, I'm watching the game, you know. I'm a distracted mofo. I would drive, 11 hours, you know, hard, I'd get to the truck stop, oh man, gotta go in there, watch the game, go in there, watch the game for 3-4 hours, mind numbing stuff, not not creating the extra buck or nothing. And then I thought to myself one day, man, these people are already rich, man. Why am I pissing my time away watching them perform and entertain and make millions of dollars? They not coming to the nearest truck stop to watch me drive. They not they not on the highway looking at me like, oh, look at this guy. He's great. He's one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest truck drivers ever known. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I said, you know what, man, I gotta get off of this. I've always wanted to write. I've always wanted to produce. I've always wanted to, work for myself. And so I just started the journey, and I just started cutting out more and more distractions. Now I'm not a hero, and I'm not telling you this to brag and all this type of nonsense. But what I'm telling you is for inspiration, because we've all done it. We've all went down a rabbit hole, uh, a YouTube rabbit hole. You watch a video and you wake up and it's like 4 hours later. And you're like, what the, you know? I remember somebody first told me about YouTube, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I didn't get an iPhone for a while. Then one day my flip phone was breaking, and a cousin of mine said, "Man, you gotta get an iPhone." I'm like, "Oh, for real? Which one should I get?" And he said, "iPhone." And I said, "Okay, I get an iPhone." And I went and got one, and they was telling me about YouTube, and I got on YouTube, and I never really looked at it. And then when I wanted to start, doing more stuff, when I wanted to create a YouTube channel, I said, okay, let me look at YouTube. And I wound up watching like 2 or 3 hours of YouTube, and I thought, come on, man, this is ridiculous. Now I'm watching this crap. And so, I know how it is, man. Sometimes you can get caught up in being distracted. But at some point, you're gonna be like, man, listen, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I can't keep doing this crap. Okay. And you're gonna say, hey, enough of me consuming at the buffet. Let me create my own buffet table so people can come consume what I'm putting down. Okay. And so it's okay to still, it's okay, check something out every now and then. Don't be one of these people. You need to go 5, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours of watching TV, and you're not getting anything out of it. It's different if you watch a show, you take some notes, you say, hey, let me talk about this down the road, let me write about this, let me do something with this. If you're one of these people who are you watching TV all the time, you're not taking any notes, you're not learning anything good, then you are a distracted dummy. Do not be a distracted dummy forever. Okay. Now if you're over the age of 80, that's fine. Of course, if you're over the age of 80, you're probably not listening to this program anyway. Okay. But for the rest of yous, okay, do not be a distracted dummy. And I mean dummy in the loveliest way possible. Okay. But ladies and gentlemen, go out, enjoy your Father's Day. We'll be back, like I said, this week. We are going to talk about marketing. We are going to talk about positioning. We're going to talk about setting yourself up next to the famous people. We're going to talk about setting yourself up next to people that have, the views already, OPP, other people's property. Um, we're going to talk about all of that. Okay. So it's going to be informative. It's going to be entertaining. So come back tomorrow, the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless each and every one of you. And as always, everybody, peace.